What's up, boys? Today we're going to be checking out the early access release of Demon Hunt, a brand new mecha bullet heaven. And honestly, the game's looking pretty promising so far. For, I believe, a single dev, there's some pretty cool meta progression already. So there's 3 different mechs in the game currently. They each have their own skill tree. I only have the first one so far. I've got a little bit of sprint duration and a chance for enemies killed with critical hits to drop extra XP so far. Nothing too impressive, but still working on grinding all of that out. They each have a different active ability. This guy has a sprint boost. This guy can burrow underground and completely avoid everything. This guy can teleport around. And then they have different stats on the starting tree as well. This guy apparently has some sort of energy shield that can recharge. Sounds kind of interesting. There's also this thing in the middle, which is basically a customizable rune page, I guess. Depending on either the blue or orange slot, you gain a different stat. You can see here, this one is move speed in the blue one, or movement speed after activating a shrine on the orange one. That's when the shrine is active, so you gain a permanent boost for the orange slot, it looks like. I don't really have a ton of those, and I can't really afford a lot of those yet. So far, I only have a 2% HP boost whenever I pick up a health pack, and then increased chance to get higher rarity on the enhancers. But I'm still working towards getting those, and the magnitude of those is based on the size of the slot. So I don't even have any mediums yet, not even close to the large ones. But then there's also a full gear system in the game, which is, I think, over here. And I'm still working on a bunch of stuff here as well. There's actually some set items with some interesting bonuses there if you get 2 or 3 pieces of them. I think there's 3 sets in the game currently. I don't have any of those. There's also unique items that give you bonuses for, I think, the weapon evolutions. So you need specific weapons, and then you have to choose a specific evolution on those for those. Again, I don't have any of these, but that seems to be what it is. They sound cool, but I'm going to have to grind some more before we do that. So let's just jump on into the run and start working towards some of that. And then let's try out Threat 2 here. We gain a new weapon if I complete this, it sounds like. And then something for crafting epic items sounds pretty nice. So there's actually a pretty large sized map here with some little altars to collect around, sort of like Death Must Die. You can gain some minor stat boosts for collecting them, and then there's some other things like needing to kill enemies within a certain range, and some altars where you can sacrifice life for various bonuses. The blaster would fit, but we're 1 skill point off for now, so let's actually just pass and then try and pick up some other weapons that will help us survive in the early game. W is a healing well, so neither of those helps me right now. The little blue bar is the recharge time on my sprint bonus, so you can use that pretty frequently. So this is the killing things nearby. Let's see, which of these would be cool? Oh, I remember this actually has a really cool evolution for it. So we'll lock that in. And then one important thing is to look at the evolutions for each weapon, since you can only have 2 out of 3 of those. So what was it over here? It was, I think, this one. It creates like these bullet hell void orbs all over the screen, which is really cool. So we'll want to grab that plus one of the other ones. I guess, what is, oh, I guess probably scale or attack speed, I don't know. Over here we'll want probably explosion sounds cool. And then I think the piercing count would be super useful, so we'll go for that for the passive bonus, I think. So we'll wait to see some higher rarity on those, and then we'll go with the piercing thing. Let's go ahead and do another there to actually get the first piercing for it. So there's the mortar. I think, again, we'll wait on those until we see some higher rarity stuff. So let's try damage and attack speed, I think, so we can get a lot of those going. So there's an item drop. I don't know if you can actually... Oh, you can actually see those in the middle of the run. So we actually have a little bit of an upgrade there with a legendary item. Don't think anything else matters. We'll wait. Actually, no, pickup range is so important. I will grab that at a low rarity. And then hopefully we'll get some decent upgrades for that. You do want to grab like 1 or 2 of those at least pretty early on. If you're going to be killing some elites soon, like this guy, they'll drop a rarity upgrade. But if you can get stuff at a higher rarity, then it becomes much easier to sort of max them out because there's a limited number of elite enemies to fight and upgrade the rarity for them. So which of these is closer to getting an evolution? Looks like that one is slightly. So we'll keep upgrading that one. And then now with 4 skill points, we can get the first evolution for it. Oh, that spawns an elite. We now have 2 of them. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what all the shrines do. There's quite a few different ones. So here we have an epic region. That's very useful. We will definitely lock that in. And then we can't quite do a whole lot else. I'll grab a little bit of attack speed and then try to save up for the evolution there. So finding that at epic, I think we just need 2 rarity upgrades for it to reach the maximum of ultra or whatever. It goes like purple and then orange and then red, I think. Let's toss a reroll. We can either get the evolution on the other weapon or find something at high rarity here. Here we go. High range and pierce. So we can now upgrade the rarity on one of these. Let's go ahead and get some pickup radius going. Get some more XP for our levels. Go for some more attack speed so we can try to fully complete that one as fast as possible. More attack speeds. So we actually have to be somewhat close to him for the minigun to hit, which is our main damage right now, which makes it a bit harder to avoid the bullet hell. Oh, that actually blocks my guns as well. Can I get rid of those? Okay, if we can move right on top of them, they'll detonate after a little bit, it looks like. I'm gonna get that one out of there, I think, so we have a clearer path to him. So we can upgrade the rarity on these. The minigun already has a ton of levels, so that seems like the choice here. Extra damage and attack speed. And then we get a rarity for one of these. Let's get some more pickup radius. Then another one. Let's go ahead and get that up to legendary. So new weapon or some low rarity artifacts. Let's toss a reroll, see if there's anything better. We can level up the mortar for now and wait a bit. Let's go damage, I think was the interesting one. So we need one more point to get the evolution there. Each wave is, I think, 20 seconds, and the final boss appears on wave 50. Here we go. Additional mortars at random locations. Oh no, I guess that isn't the cool one. So it must be this one with the scale, which I can't even get now. Oh well. Haven't tried some of these, so we can see how they work together anyways. Chance to create a combustion. I think I will grab that at a low rarity just to improve our highest level weapon. And then that creates burning ground effects, I think, on hit, so that'll be pretty useful to add some extra AoE to it. Blue thorns, that really doesn't help me a lot. I think I would rather just lock in another ember weapon to go with the artifact and the main weapon here anyways. Then we'll try and finish that off if there's nothing I really want. Oh, there's the edge of the map there with all the trees off to the side, so we need to go north or south here. Oh, that's the other thing that's similar to the minigun. Yeah, I guess we'll grab that. Save the points to try and get the other evolution for the void thing, since that's pretty high level, I think. Let's save the points for now, I think. Let's get a bit more healing so I don't die. Guess we'll take the XP. That'll at least give us more levels, so we have more opportunities to get some higher rarity artifacts. It'll combine nicely with the pickup radius, so we can have a huge level at the end. I guess we will just take some levels over here. We're not really finding anything super useful. What does the blaster gain? Shatter into multiple projectiles, explode on hit, or ricochet. These all sound really cool. I think pierce and attack speed sounds the coolest. So let's lock those in so I don't forget on that one. And then, we have some decent levels. Close enough. Now we have 2 different evolutions already at least, so it'll be easier to find one. Rare health. We do have percentage regen, so that's not bad for survivability. Oh, got stuck on the tree. So we'll keep pumping up the minigun, I think. And then let's finish off the pickup radius now. Rare projectile damage reduction, sure. Then probably save the rest of the points, try and get those weapon evolutions, or at least something at a decent rarity. Rare leech while below 25%. Yeah, we can grab that and then still get the ricochet over here. And then it's fairly high level, so we'll start pumping the other thing as well. Oh, that one actually only needs 3, it looks like? Huh. Didn't notice that before. I think there was a green puddle under that. Rare ember damage versus area. So area would be those two. I think ember makes a bit more sense then. So I guess we'll go for the elite, since that's the only way to get the upgrades for the artifacts. You can get a little bit more by choosing those every time. Then we'll go attack speed here. And then I guess that one's maxed out. What did I want for the ember grenades? Rapidly to random locations, additional grenades near target, grenades with huge blast radius. Those two sound pretty cool, I think. So scale and damage. So we'll max out the region to make sure I don't die. More damage to closer enemies? Sure. Rare void damage. I don't think we have any weapons for that yet. I mean, pretty easy to check. Yeah, that's all ember. So we'll do the extra damage. I guess I can lock them both in. There are some pretty fun void weapons if we do ever gain any, and it's only 1 skill point for that anyways. Not really a huge deal. New ion weapon, probably wait a little bit, see if we can find something at a higher rarity. Here we go. Rare damage shield. Okay, that's pretty helpful. We can also toss some upgrades onto the grenade launcher. So what do we want to upgrade next? None of those are super useful. Let's probably upgrade the AoE effects for all of the Ember weapons. I think that'll help a lot when we're struggling with the insane number of enemies and their bullet hell effects right now. Two skill points, yeah, that'll be pretty close to an evolution. And then I guess we'll try and go up to 4 unless I find something at a pretty high rarity that catches my eye. Very bullet hell on the bosses. So that'll go up to legendary. Wait, pierce count 33? Is that right? Oh, the evolution probably changes that. I think we'll keep pumping the combustion to get the AoE on that higher. So I guess that thing gives it the massive pierce. That is a lot of piercing. Increased evasion, not bad. And then we can grab the evolution here and a little bit of damage. More damage. Then I guess we can check if there's any useful items here. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Not bad. About the same, probably slightly worse. I think that's worse. We have a rare ion fields. Okay, not bad. And then for that, we would go for... I guess probably just attack rate and radius. And then that would give us the instant kill, so that would be decent. Rare leech. Ooh, that sounds pretty nice. So I guess the second upgrade path on them is locked to only 3. And then I guess you can only get one of those, actually. So I was wrong on that, actually. You gain 1 evolution and then a shorter upgrade path, it seems like. More attack rates. I've never seen that before, actually. Demon has taken both Ember and Ion damage. Further hits have a chance to spawn a tornado. Alright, that sounds pretty cool. Let's grab that, even though it's pretty low rarity. Epic dual saber, not bad. There's also a DPS meter in the bottom right if you're curious how each of the weapons is performing. Jesus, that is a lot of bullets. More attack rates. Max out the combustion. Actually, no, that's just legendary, which is the max in most games, but not here. So for the Ion, what do we want? Or the dual saber. Flames on ground, beam at perpendicular angle. That sounds cool. Bigger and longer beam. Yeah, I think I like the rotate speed thing. Evasion, health, damage shield, XP, damage from projectiles, or projectile damage to close enemies. Let's get a bit of XP, I guess, while we can still benefit from that. That is a lot of tornadoes for a white artifact, wow. Blue artifacts there. I guess we're getting close to the end, so I may as well grab a cool sounding chain lightning effect, even though it's pretty low rarity. Only a little over 10 waves to go now. One more point for that. I guess we'll save up a little bit and try to grab that. Then we max out the minigun. Leech at 25. The shield seems kind of nice. I wouldn't mind some more levels on that. Rare attack and movement speed, that sounds pretty nice. And then we can grab the instant kill evolution there. then we'll probably grab some radius over there. We can maybe still get that before the boss. So we'll go some... Actually, that's pretty impactful even for common. 15% range? Yeah, let's grab that for the boss. Then we can put 1 point in radius for now. Points. That's probably worth it for 1 point. Just try and maximize our chances for the boss, and then I'll save a little bit here. One more to get that. Neither of those are super important for 1 point. Here we go, get the second beam. And then I guess we'll pump up some radius on that. Only 1 skill point, not a lot to do here. %. I don't think that would be a good idea. Let's just grab a little bit more on the weapon levels. Points. I'll do a bit more on the epic thing. And then I think the fire AoE thing is a good thing to have maxed out. Do either of these help a lot? I don't think so. We'll just increase the AoE a bit there. Oh yeah, his attacks are very different colors. Most of them are like glowing red lights, which you kind of focus on. And then he does the kind of sneaky little green spikes, which are kind of hard to see when you're focusing on a bright red light. There's no way to see the damage of certain artifacts, right? Yeah, it would be kind of cool if we could see the damage that certain proc effects like that and the tornadoes are doing. So you could kind of compare how strong each of the various artifacts are for your build. That is so many bullets, my god, dude. What the heck is happening? You can see the weapons at least. Obviously the first one you get is going to be pretty high up there since it's going to get the early evolutions and be around for a much longer time. But yeah, I guess you can't get 2 evolutions on each of them after all. It's just the one and then a very short stat upgrade path for the second thing. So we still didn't even get a single medium slot. Wow, that takes quite a while. And then the large ones are even slower. I can at least buy something for a small slot, so... New weapons? No, I can't even afford that, wow. Oh, offering is the HP sacrifice thing, I think. No, that's 420. That would be nice. But everything's just so expensive here. The good ones are like 420. Oh, damage if you complete a wave at a certain HP. I guess that could be decent. Toss that in a blue slot. Then see what all we got for the items. Looks like we already got all of the upgrades there. What about for that? Did we get a better blue for that one? Don't think so. So we can recycle basically everything, I guess. You can also upgrade the item level on them slightly, but it takes the mats over there, so I can really only do like blue and purple currently. That one's not bad, so you can do like 0.1 evasion, 0.3 knockback power. That doesn't even gain anything? Oh, there we go, extra leech. That's kind of nice. Except I can't upgrade it for some reason. But yeah, not too bad for a brand new Bullet Heaven that I think is done by one developer. Some interesting little meta progression systems there, slightly different than the standards, just generic stat increases off of each run. If you complete a run with these, then you can start with some of them. Void Mortar would actually be cool. I definitely want to try a run focused on that now. Did I get the second mech yet? No, I need to do one more threat level on that boss, it looks like. Okay. We got 2 more points here. I guess we can get close to one of the big center nodes. Sprinting increases damage by 20%. That sounds decent. And then we can get some extra XP off of that, which is not bad. And then for 1 point, I guess I will grab that one as well, actually. Since it's 6 points to get one of those anyways, that's going to take a bit. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.